Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Inside the EntreMD Business School show. Okay, excited as usual. You know how it is. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I have a wonderful guest with us here today. This is Dr. Sherita. I'm going to have her introduce herself. She's going to tell us the name of her business and where she's located. Go ahead, Dr. Sherita.
Hi, everyone. I am Sherita Gaskins-tillet. I am an OBGYN by training. However, I am mostly non-clinical at this point, and I am the founder of Boss Lady Dream Builders, where I help professional women find their way in life, find their way to their dream life. Too many of us stop dreaming after a certain point in life, and there's no dream police. So I want to help women find their dreams, live in their purpose, and just enjoy their lives.
Love it, love it. And where are you located?
I am located in Maryland.
In Maryland. Okay, well, to hide those who are in Maryland, you have someone who is local to you. Alrighty, so 2023 was a big year for you, Dr. Sharita,
Yes.
a big year. So tell us, what are some of your tangible wins within your business in 2023?
Well, I would say the biggest tangible win is I hosted two wildly successful weekend retreats for women. So I did not mention that in my introduction. I'm also the retreat host for A Weekend for Me, the premier wellness experience for professional women. And, while that may not seem like a big deal, it's a very big deal to me because this was something that was born really, or conceived, I guess I should say, in 2017, but did not come to fruition until last year. And so, I actually tried to launch that retreat 3 times. And
Mm.
then finally last year, after being a part of EntreMD and, all of Dr. Una's coaching and the support of the community, I was able to finally get that off the ground. And like I said, two wildly successful events.
Wow, I love it. You can always tell when you're talking to an OB, right? She said it was conceived in 2017. So I love the wildly successful events. For those who are listening, let's tell them, where was the first one and where was the second one?
So the first one was pretty local to me. It was on the eastern shore of Maryland, so about an hour and a half outside of Baltimore and Washington, D.C., in Cambridge, Maryland, a little town, but a
Mhm.
town that was important to me because it's actually the town that my family is from. My mother and my grandparents are from that town. It's also the town where Harriet Tubman was
Mm,
born. So,
mm.
it had significance for me. So the first one was there, and then the second one was actually in Puerto Rico and
Love
and right on
it.
the beach. That one was absolutely, but they were both amazing. But Puerto
Mhm.
Rico was like next level amazing.
I love it. I love it. See, one of the great things too, as you're telling me about the way that you conceived this beautiful experience that you have for the women, is that I'm like, oh, you did it in Cambridge. Like I knew you had it there, but the significance behind it, I think it's just so much more powerful. So you really brought it on, and this is a powerful retreat for women, and you really started it from where a lot of powerful women within your
Yes.
family who were meaningful to you were born. And then from then she went straight abroad. Love it. All righty. So with
And
that,
that first one was also in March, which was Women's History Month. So,
oh
kind of
wow.
all tied together.
Oh, I love it. I had no idea the significance behind this retreat. So I can see why it was such a great stepping stone for even bigger things. So now that we have, talked about some of your tangible wins of 2023 in your business, what were some of the intangible wins?
Wow, I would say the intangible wins are tremendous. The largest of which is mindset. You
Mm,
know, before I was part of the business school, I wanted to have the retreats, but I didn't understand that I needed to become a person who could host a retreat. I'll be honest with you, you know me. So I was an introverted introvert, and I might still be a little bit, but I can come out to talk because I know that it's what's required, to have the business that I want to have. And so, the intangible thing that has come, the biggest thing is just knowing that I have what it takes to actually host a retreat, that I can be a public speaker and not die. Then not only be a public speaker, but an effective public speaker that changes and transforms lives. And that was a huge thing for me. You don't realize when you're kind of, planning something in your bubble, that you need the evidence. You actually have to get out and collect data to know what's what. And, it's just so gratifying and so reassuring and affirming and all of those other things, to have hosted those events, because it just helped me to clarify my purpose, and also gave me more confidence.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. And you're right. As I sit and I think about the Dr. Sherita, and she knows we always talk about the story privately, where for the first year or so, I did not know what Dr. Sherita looked like because she was always off camera. And as you are watching this, you'll see her beautiful smile. You see how she lights up the room, and she's always such a source of great guidance. And so I love the fact that she's brought that not just within her smaller surrounding people and her group, but she's now expanded that to professional women, throughout, who are all welcome to her wonderful retreat. All righty, so with highs, they're going to be lows.
Yes.
But the great thing about it is that for us, we consider the lows lessons. So what were
Yes,
some of your
absolutely.
biggest lessons in 2023 for your business?
I guess the need for systems is probably one of the biggest lessons that I had. It's really hard. People don't realize it's really hard to have a business. It's hard to manage a Facebook group, all of those things, and you really need a reliable team, and you need systems in place to make it happen. Especially when, at this point for me, it's still a side gig. It's not quite a main gig, so it's
Mhm.
definitely it takes some work and some planning and organization and all of those things.
Love it. So biggest thing is learning that systems are required. And yeah, as we do and we start our business, we usually just do things as needed. But then
Yeah,
if you really truly want to level it up, like the name used
right.
to be,
Yeah.
you have to it requires system and systematic thinking, and it requires help, as you mentioned. This is not a lonely sport. You usually will need some type of help or support along the way.
And
So I love
and I
that.
think that's honestly that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned during my time in the business school.
Mhm.
Because because I'm an introverted introvert, I kind of kept everything to myself. I did everything in a vacuum. And that's one reason I'm so appreciative of the business school, is because it taught me that it's okay to share my hopes and my dreams with this community, because
Mhm.
not everybody is happy for you. Or not everybody understands, not everybody's going to be supportive. And so I really, used to hold things pretty close.
Mhm.
But it helps to have a community where I can, bounce around ideas and get the support that I need.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was going to ask you, how did the business school help you? But I think you just told us.
Yes.
So having the support that you need, even when you are holding, like you said, ideas very close to hand. And when you think about it, what were some, because there are others who are like us, where they have ideas and we're holding it close at hand. Why do you think you did that? And, what is it that made you realize, like, you know what, I feel comfortable enough with this group in order to release some of my ideas and to get support?
Yeah, I think at the root of all of it is fear. Fear is probably the biggest one. And then a close second is insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that there's no formula. We went through medical school. We knew we had 4 years of school, 4 years of residency, then you're an attending. Like there was a formula, a script that I could follow. And this that I'm doing now is kind of life unscripted. And so I just, did not know for sure that I had the ability to be able to be a person of influence, and that I could really make a difference in women's lives. I mean, I've been doing that in medicine on the, on one hand, but on the other hand, to be able to make a difference in other ways, I was just not comfortable, not secure. And it
Mhm.
wasn't until I attended the EBS Vision Retreat and I had an opportunity to meet my fellow classmates in person, that I realized that we are all more alike than we are different. And
Mhm.
it was that aha moment for me, like, wait a minute, these people have the same kinds of thoughts. Because, again, I lived in a vacuum. So I thought my thoughts were just, I was just a weirdo who
Mhm.
wasn't satisfied.
Yes.
basically, because,
Hmm.
most people would think, well, you're a doctor, you're successful. What more do you want? Right. But,
Absolutely.
but I knew that there was more inside of me. And so to meet all of the EBSers in person and to know that they had the same kinds of hopes and dreams and aspirations that I had, but beyond that, to see the ones who were farther ahead and to hear that they had the same kinds of insecurities, that's what really cinched it for me. And I knew I'd found my tribe, and I began to let my hair down and come on camera some so you guys do what I look like, and came on mute so you could hear my voice, and all of those kinds of things. But yeah, it's been a wonderful ride.
I love it. And like, look at the transformation that has occurred, not with only you, but for the lives of the women that you've touched
Yes.
so far. Now, I know some people are listening and they are like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Should I join the business school? What would you tell that person?
Run, don't walk. Run, don't walk. Don't wait another day. I'm going to tell you a story.
Hmm.
Actually, I actually started following Dr. Una probably about a year before I joined the business school.
Hmm.
And I had this limiting belief. No one told me this, my own limiting belief, that there was no way I could afford the business school because
Mm.
Dr. Uno, everything was just so high quality that I did not believe it was something that was even in my budget. I didn't even investigate it. I just said, well, that's not for me. But I kept following her from afar.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, I probably did one of her, one of her free offerings or whatever. And then at the end, when she presented the price, I was like, wait a minute, I can do it. So I had counted myself out. So what I'm
Wow.
going to say is don't count yourself out.
Hmm.
Don't delay, because I think how much farther ahead I would have been had I joined, 9 months sooner.
Wow. So don't count yourself out and run, don't walk. Hey, that's the answer,
Exactly.
right? Run, don't walk. So for those of you guys who are out there, we have given you just a glimpse of what it's like to be inside the EntreMD Business School with our wonderful Dr. Sherita Tillet, who is putting on extraordinary weekend for ladies, which is what a weekend for me, which is wonderful retreats. Now she's done some local in the US and also internationally. And as we mentioned, this is a woman who is an extraordinary, she's done OBGYN, she's doing non-clinical work. She's now hosting wonderful retreats. And for a year, I did not know what she looked like. And now she's not only on camera, she's speaking on stages, and she's transforming lives, all with the support that she said that she has had being here within the business school. So if you don't know what this is like, you've just gotten a glimpse. But the true magic happens when you really join us inside the EntreMD Business School. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherita.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my story. And I'll
I would
echo
do it
Dr.
over.
Tamara, you definitely want to be on the inside of this thing. It
Yes, I
is the
love
real deal.
it. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherita. And thank you guys for listening and for watching. And we will see you once you jump what? Inside the EntreMD Business